Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to Healthy Living with Dr. Julissa.
Good evening, Source Nation. Good evening and welcome to SRN Live Television. You're watching live right here on Healthy Living with Dr. Julissa. I am your host, Kathy B. And tonight we're going to be discussing some great information that is very timely right now. We know that a lot of parents are gearing up for the next school season. And as you know, if your child is entering into either pre-K or kindergarten, they're requesting that you have certain vaccinations in place before enrollment. So tonight's conversation is going to be a great one because Dr. Julissa will come in and speak to us in reference to vaccinations and childhood disease. I do believe that Dr. Julissa is here in the studio with me. Dr. Julissa, hello and welcome to Healthy Living. How are you this evening?
I'm feeling exquisite, my beautiful friend. I hope that you're well. I'm decided that this is the first show I wanted to do this year outdoors, just to share with all of you the beautiful greenery. We're finally have beautiful weather here in the New York City, New Jersey area, and I'm happy to share. So happy to be here with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. But if you will, we just launched the SRN Live Television a few weeks ago. So a lot of the family members are used to this, but we actually have new family members that are watching tonight. So if you will, please, can you just share with them who you are, and we'll jump into tonight's conversation.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm honored to be here on this new chapter of SRN Live Television. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Julissa Hernandez, naturopathic doctor, board certified, and am a teacher of natural medicine, an international speaker of natural medicine. Have been practicing now for over 23 years. A television and radio personality regarding health and natural medicine topics, and I'm honored to be a part of the SRN Live Television. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, Dr. Julissa. Well, again, Source Nation are here tonight. Vaccination and childhood disease. Now, we received a letter, Dr. Julissa, that I want to take a moment, if I may, to read this to you, and we will follow through with tonight's conversation, if that's okay.
Please.
Okay, awesome. The letter reads, "Hi, Dr. Julissa. I have a question for you regarding childhood diseases. A couple of days ago, there was a confirmed case of measles around the DC area from someone who contracted it outside of the US. I am not one who believes in vaccinations. One reason is because I was vaccinated as a child and ended up with measles, mumps, chickenpox, and whooping cough, which are all childhood diseases. My question, being that my child is not vaccinated, how can I ensure that if there is an outbreak, that my child's immune system is healthy enough to resist?" Now, what are your thoughts about that, Dr. Julissa?
A wonderful, wonderful question by a concerned mom. First, I absolutely understand how her body reacted to having been vaccinated as a child. Please understand first and foremost that what vaccinations are actually introducing into the body disease. That is what one is doing. So having received that vaccination, as she stated, and then developing all of those childhood diseases either at the same time or at different times makes sense because you're bringing disease into the body.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to give her options of what she should do, but I'll first begin with quoting, and I pray that there are parents out there really truly listening and that they share this information with others. I'll be sharing some of the research and information by Robert J. Thiel, PhD, and parents.
Okay.
If you knew that every drug has an acute effect and also an opposite chronic effect, which produces a drug disease later on, And provided you have the future welfare of your children at heart, would you not deem it extremely criminal to have them drugged? Vaccination is known to be the method employed to transmit, perpetuate, and preserve the pox, syphilis, and other infectious germs for future generations. So we naturopaths and holistic practitioners know that this form of supposedly allopathic administration of supposed trying to prevent continual infectious diseases from spreading, on the contrary, are actually preserving these diseases so that continued future generations continue to have them. And so the immune systems continue to be susceptible to them, and they're not fed properly what they need to do to fight them. Okay. So that's something to be truly fearful of. So as far as the options of a mother or a father, first I can tell you that you are not forced to do anything with your child's body that you don't want to do. I personally am one that at the time that my son was going to schools and was asked to that he needed to have certain vaccinations done, I found a letter online. I lived in New Jersey at that time, and I found a letter online, a template of a letter that I wrote to his school stating that because of my beliefs, because of my spiritual or religious beliefs, that I did not want my son to be vaccinated, sent that to the nurse, and he was not needed to have that sort of, chemicals administration done. And so I was able to avoid it in that way as well. What to feed a child, what to give a child, okay? So there are three specific nutrients that I most definitely recommend children have, because what we want to do is feed their immune system, Kathy, so that they can fight against what's going on around in the world, whether it's a common cold, down to the flu, down to these infectious diseases that are being maintained, as I just stated, in our communities, in our world, by maintaining vaccinations. It's like storing it again, so I said, for future generations to have issues with. So first and foremost, I love aqua soul silver. Now, please understand, I am not mentioning colloidal silver, which a lot of people know of and has had wonderful reputation for being so wonderful for helping to kill virus, bacteria, parasites, and so on. But the colloidal silver can be toxic. And so that is why with my patients, from little ones to adults to the elderly, I love to use an aqua soul silver supplement that is absolutely non-toxic. And you can find that more information. And the patent number is what I actually recommend that people truly research, so that you can see what the proven diseases are that a supplement as such actually cures and has proven to cure. So you can find that on, if you go to my website, click the herbs and supplements section, type in Silver Shield. Second supplement that I recommend, I love elderberry for children. It is known to be a wonderful natural food to help lift the immune system of our little ones. Sometimes it comes, at least the way I administer it to my little patients, can come in a gummy form where it is absolutely also non-toxic. Does it have the toxic gum and does not contain sugar, refined sugars. And so that is one way to administer it. Elderberry can also be administered in other forms. And also the echinacea, I truly love. Golden seal, we need to be wary about using with little ones. It tends to be a bit strong. So I do love the echinacea to bring into children. I use it in an extract form with my little ones, and it comes in a little bottle. Mommy squeezes it for 30 seconds inside maybe a little bowl of applesauce and give it to the baby just like that, or the little one just like that. And that combination, if I see that it's a child that has a very poor immune system, has already shown to get sick often, I may combine all three. But if it's just for prevention, I love the effects of Silver Shield. For those little ones that even go to daycare, schools, and they're constantly catching colds, I tell moms to take that liquid, put it in a bottle, add some water to it, and spray the child with it, spray their book bag, and so on and so forth. It kills bacteria, fungus, virus, parasites on contact. So those are the options that I give my parents.
Okay. Now let's go back and discuss. I know you mentioned that you were able to write a letter stating, based on your beliefs, that you did not want your son to have vaccinations. Now, of course, some states, I know here in North Carolina, it is by law that before a child either enters into preschool or kindergarten, that they must have vaccinations, and it must be on document that the vaccination has taken care of. So with that being said, let's talk about handling it from a holistic standpoint. And if that is something that possibly this mother could use to take to her school district. What are your thoughts about that?
I would say look online. That is what I did. I found a specific template of a letter that one could print and fill in and write up personally, speaking of their own child, speaking of, signing it with our own names, that stated that I was not open to having my child vaccinated. I know that many parents have even homeschooled specifically for that reason.
Yes.
And it's an option to truly consider when you're thinking about a child's health and welfare. There are too many cases of challenges of kids even becoming paralyzed. There's a wonderful account that I know of on Facebook and so on that really brings a lot of this information to light. So what I would say for every parent out there is to go online, search for your state. If there is a template letter that allows you to opt out of vaccinations, vaccinating your child, and then fight it tooth and nail. It is worth it to fight it tooth and nail. Your child will not be lacking in anything, not be lacking in any sort of health protection by not injecting their bodies with diseases. It just makes absolutely no sense. So it's, as I said, it's deemed extremely criminal to drug our children in that manner. Yes. And look for more research. I would definitely recommend looking into the studies by Dr. Robert Thiel. These are some of the research studies that we've learned in naturopathic medicine in our board exams. His work was part of some of the questions that have come out on our examinations as NDs, naturopathic doctors. So again, it's something that is deemed a criminal act to do to your child.
Great information. Source Nation, you're watching SRN Live, Healthy Living tonight, and Dr. Julissa has come in and has given us some wonderful information in reference to vaccinations and some things that you can implement into your child's life holistically. Dr. Julissa, let me ask you this, and this may not have any correlation to what we're speaking of, but I just thought of this, and as the reason why I don't do this, the flu. We know that they had the flu vaccine.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I've heard some crazy things about the flu vaccine, especially from my parents. My parents, of course, they're in their 70s, and they both believe that they have to have this vaccination every single year. But the one thing that my mother said, she says, Kathy, I did not know that once I got the vaccination that I will end up with the flu. And I felt so bad for a week. And that is the reason why I don't do that, because that's just listening to my parents, and then, of course, hearing my mother's story that she actually contracted the flu and felt bad for a week. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So let's talk about that. So is that exactly what you were saying? If they have that injection, they could possibly end up with either one of those diseases, correct?
Absolutely. You're injecting your body with a virus. You're injecting your body with a virus.
Yes.
It just doesn't make sense. It's a way of maintaining, again, all this research that we've seen in naturopathy is that it is a way to maintain syphilis and all of these infectious diseases for future generations to have to deal with, instead of feeding our bodies what it needs to so that it can fight, when it's exposed to these things, so that as generations go on, it won't even exist any longer, So, oh my. So it's been countless people that get the flu shot and get sick as a dog, and I'm literally stating their own words, and they've explained it to me, and then vowed never to do it again. Problem is, they already did it. And so, yeah, definitely, I don't recommend doing it. Now, the funny thing is, and yes, I will be speaking of my adoring colleagues in the conventional medical industry. Let me tell you, conventional doctors don't get flu shots. No, you can go around in a hospital and ask away, did you get the flu shot? And they don't. However, the ones that are really not aware too much yet, maybe, or those who are really just not strong enough to resist and really state that or understand that they can do with their body whatever they want. PAs, physician's assistants, you'll see that most of those will get them, but their actual boss doctors won't. So it's, oh dear, you've no idea. They don't. Yes. And so I would say to anyone that's being proposed that, would you do it, is one good question that you should ask your conventional doctor, allopathic doctor. Would you do that to your mother? Would you give it to your mother? Would you give it to your child? Would you, ask them those questions whenever you're being given a medication, recommended a shot, this,
Right.
and see what the answer is. And be honest with me, Doc.
Good information. Now, we just had a question to come in. Let me ask you this, Dr. Julissa, as we are wrapping up. So if you're not going to have the vaccine, and we know that sometimes this could mean a loss of life. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because some say having the vaccine can create future happenings, but if we're not doing this, then what do we do?
Again, there are options. Look to what the earth provides for us to be able to heal ourselves, to be able to feed the body what it is missing so that it can prevent and help to heal itself. And so there are options out there. My first and foremost go-to that is always in my home, just in case anyone were able to be ill, is definitely that liquid, an Aquasol supplement. Maintain something like that in your home. I have it in that way and in a gel form in case anyone gets bruised or whatever it may be, or cuts and scrapes to kill bacteria on contact. It is what I use with my HIV patients. Okay. It is what I use. Yes, it is what I use when I help patients that want to help their bodies to fight off viral presences, such as herpes, HSV1, and HSV2 as well. And so, again, what I recommend, and I will share with you the links afterwards to these supplements on my site so that they can obtain the information even quicker. And what I invite them to do is to research the patent number given to a supplement as such, because it will detail to you exactly what has been proven that these supplements actually cure. Okay? You're feeding your body what it needs to cure itself. And then, of course, we know that herbs are wonderful. They're food to help our immune systems, and they exist out there. The elderberry, echinacea, we know of golden seal. If you're an adult, then do a combination of echinacea, golden seal supplements, and so on. I also recommend that to my adult patients that have very low immune systems. For those that have even low T cell counts that I'm working with that have HIV, to get them to where they are negative, undetectable, then you can use supplements like an immune stimulator, which is a combination of herbal natural therapies that is specifically for that. And you can search that also on my site. So I will share all that information with you because you have options. Look to nature. It provides us what we need. Remember that I do not say this, and I'll end with this, Kathy. When I do say this, please know it is not that I am against conventional medicine in some forms. The fact that we can do surgery on a fetus while it is still in the womb is something miraculous and something that should exist. However, the way naturopathy defines allopathic conventional medicine is as such. It is known to be tragic medicine. God forbid We leave here, we get into a car accident, do what you have to bring me to the emergency room and put me back together, but it does not prevent disease or cure disease. And so in my thoughts, both must exist, however, in its rightful places.
Awesome. Wonderful information that you've said, beautifully shared. If you will, Dr. Julie, so we always like to leave either with some encouraging word or maybe some tips and advice that we have not mentioned in tonight's conversation. If you wish to do so, you can do so at this time. Great.
Thank you so much, Kathy. You can all find my information at drjulissa.com. That's drjulissa.com to find more information, detailed information, the actions and properties of the herbal therapies and natural therapies I've mentioned. Just click the herbs and supplements section of my site, search those things in the window, and I will be sure to share those links with you as well, Kathy. Blessings, and I look forward to next week.
Thank you, Dr. Julissa. Thank you for coming in and definitely giving us some great information in reference to vaccines. So you have a wonderful, blessed evening, and we look forward to having you again back here next week as well. Thank you.
You too, dear. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night. Source Nation, you heard it right there from Dr. Julissa Hernandez. Of course, tonight's conversation was all about vaccinations. What I love most about the conversation was the fact that Dr. Julissa stated that we can continue to heal our bodies naturally, that we do not need the vaccinations. A great idea and point that she made was, going out on the internet and searching for a template. If you firmly believe that vaccination is not a choice for yourself as well as your family, take the time to do the research. The information is there. Research the laws within your state. And if you believe as though that a holistic way is better, then go ahead and begin to introduce the supplements that Dr. Julissa mentioned in tonight's discussion to your family. Begin to heal your family in a healthy state. And I guarantee you, vaccinations will not be something that you utilize. So take the time to research, introduce the information that Dr. Julissa stated in tonight's conversation to your family, and let's heal together. Guys, thank you so much for watching Healthy Living. I am Kathy B. Of course, Dr. Julissa's information can be found on Kathy B. SRN Live Television, as well as our main station page, SRN Live Television. And feel free to head over to Dr. Julissa. Again, you can reach her at www.drjulissa.com for more information. You've been watching Healthy Living right here on SRN Live Television. We will see you all back here in the studio again next week. Be blessed. Have a great night.
Get at me for beats, yo.